Palak had gone for a park walk with her 5-year-old daughter Megha and husband Rajiv. When Palak's daughter Megha's feet hurt while walking in the park, Megha insisted on climbing on her father's lap. Palak's husband Rajiv lifted her in his lap, smiling. Rajiv was roaming around and giving various information to his daughter while walking in the park. Palak was watching this love of father and daughter with mesmerization. Suddenly, tears welled up in her eyes, which she neatly hid from her daughter and husband. Today, Palak got lost in her childhood memories after seeing her daughter's childhood. Palak had longed for father's love since childhood. When Palak was 6 months old, her father went to jail for the murder of his business partner, and there he was sentenced to death. Palak's mother had left in-laws' house as she did not want to live as the wife of a criminal. After a few years, Palak's mother, Vasundharaji, married Tribhuvanji, who worked in her own office. Tribhuvanji was attracted to Vasundharaji's beauty and started liking her. So despite not wanting for the happiness of Vasundharaji, he also gave shelter to Palak in his house. After marriage, Vasundharaji had got a husband, but Palak could not find a father. Tribhuvanji never accepted Palak as his daughter because he considered Palak to be a blood of a criminal and thought that she was the criminal's daughter. Palak used to try to go near her father since childhood, but her father always went away from her. Whenever Palak was around him, Tribhuvanji used to get uncomfortable. Though Tribhuvanji did not leave any stone unturned in Palak's upbringing because he respected Vasundharaji's happiness, but could never love Palak as a daughter from his heart. Then after a few years, Vasundharaji became the mother of a son. Tribhuvanji was very happy to have his child in the form of Akhil. He loved his son more than his life. When Palak grew up a little, then this discrimination of her father was clearly visible to him. Growing up, she came to know that Tribhuvanji was not her own father, but her stepfather. Yet, she used to make every effort to get her father's love. She studied diligently and always stood first in her class. When she used to go home with the result, every year she expected her father to congratulate her and hug her with love, but nothing like this happened. At the same time, his younger brother used to pass, even with simple numbers, so in that happiness his father used to distribute sweets. Vasundharaji also knew that Tribhuvanji does not consider Palak as his daughter at heart. But what could she have done? Vasundharaji used to give love to Palak by her side and fulfill all her wishes. But this could not fill the lack of father's love. Year after year, Palak grew like this and kept getting further away from her father. Now she had given up hope. She understood that she would never get her father's love. After completion of Palak's studies, in a few years, Vasundharaji got Palak married after a seeing good family. Here his younger brother Akhil expressed his desire to study abroad. Tribhuvanji happily sent him abroad to study further. Time passed, and Vasundharaji slept one night and could not get up in the morning. She had died due to cardiac arrest. Tribhuvanji was stunned. He could not believe that suddenly his life partner left him like this. He was all alone. Palak had also come home with her husband as soon as she got the news. She never got the love of her father, and now her mother had also gone away from her. At such a time, Akhil had also come back to his father. The number of days Palak stayed in the maternal house, his father and brother did not even talk to her properly. In a jiffy, her maternal home was over. She kept on crying, but her father and brother did not care about her tears. Now she had just become like an unwanted guest. After 13th, Palak went to her in-laws' house. One day, Tribhuvanji was lost in the memories of his late wife. when Akhil came in his room. On seeing the son, he cleaned his wet eyes and asked him to sit. Akhil sat beside him on the bed and said, "Dad, I want to start my business, so I have to take a loan, and for that I have to mortgage this house." Tribhuvanji blindly believed the son's words and gave him. After a few months, Tribhuvanji called Akhil to him and said, "Son, now you also get married. The house seems like a lot of hearing. If your household is settled in time, then I will be relieved of my responsibilities." Akhil said annoyed, "Papa, do not marry me. I have married a foreign girl abroad." Hearing this, Tribhuvanji was shocked, but after a while he tried to take care of himself and said, "Son, you got married. Didn't even tell me once." He said casually, "What is there to tell in this? Marriage is a personal matter of one's life. What is the need to beat the drums in this?" Tribhuvanji never imagined that his favorite son would give him a blunt answer like this. He became silent. Akhil started saying that, "Now that the matter is up, let me tell you that after a month I have to go abroad again, and now I will never come back to India." Tribhuvanji looked at the son's face with hopeful eyes, where that the son would ask him to go with him, but nothing like that happened. On the contrary, he kept on attacking him one after the other. Akhil further said, "I am selling this ancestral house because when I live here, I do not know who will sit here after depositing my rights. I have talked to you in an old age home. You go to live there. Otherwise, you have to go to the house of any of your relatives. Then go there." Tribhuvanji trembled with anger and said, "You cannot sell this house while I am alive. This house is mine." Akhil shamelessly said, "Oh Papa, you gave this house to me at the same time you signed those papers." The ground slipped under Tribhuvanji's feet. Started coming from dizziness. He sat down with his head bowed. He could not understand what to do in such a situation. Out of shame, he did not want to go to any of his relatives' place and stay. Ultimately, that was what Akhil wanted. Tribhuvanji went to old age home with a broken heart. Akhil went abroad after selling everything and did not even once look back and ask his father's condition. Everything happened so fast that Palak didn't know anything. Anyway, his father meant nothing to him. If he didn't even talk to Palak on the phone. The neighbors of Tribhuvanji told Palak all the things on the phone. Palak was astonished as to what happened to her father. Palak was finding them with great difficulty. Reached old age home. On reaching there, she saw that Tribhuvanji's health was very bad. Within a month, he had become dry and thorny. All the brilliance was lost from his face due to illness. More than that, he was worried that it was his son who was more dear to him than his life. He could not bear the betrayal committed by his son. Suddenly, her father was surprised to see his stepdaughter in front. Tribhuvanji was not able to understand what to talk to her. The link of communication between them was never able to connect. Palak came and sat beside him and said hesitantly, "Dad, you have been facing so much alone. Why didn't you tell me something once?" What would Tribhuvanji answer? With what face would he tell his troubles to the daughter, with whom he had never even spoken directly to her face? He could not say anything and started thinking in his mind, "With what mouth would I say something to you when I did not understand anything to you?" She said with a wink, "Just Papa, you won't be here anymore. Being a daughter, you don't need to live in an old age home like this." Tribhuvanji was shocked to hear about the daughter, whom he always ignored, never ever talked to her with love, kept thinking of her as dirty blood. The same daughter was standing in front of him today, with an ocean of love in her heart. Tribhuvanji became very emotional, and tears welled up in his eyes. He started thinking, "I had never seen it through my daughter's eyes." Today, life has given me that opportunity, which changed my thinking. I always had wrong thoughts about her, and I never felt ashamed for it. Tears were flowing from Trivandji's eyes. He said with a teary throat, "Forgive me, daughter. I have never been able to fulfill the duty of being a father. I never considered you my daughter from my heart. Now perhaps this is my punishment, that I should spend the rest of my life in this old age home. I don't want to cause you any trouble by walking with you." Palak lovingly held her father's trembling hands and said, "Dad, you may not consider me as your daughter, but I have always had love and respect for you. I had not seen my father, so for me you were my father from the beginning. You may be my mother's second husband, but you were my only father. I never thought of you as a stepfather. Yes, it was the another matter that whenever you used to take my brother in your arms and walk around, my child also used to yearn for the love of his father." Tears started rolling down his cheeks too. Trivandji cried and said, "Daughter, I am not worthy to take me to your house and serve me. Let me lie here. Maybe this will be the repentance of my mistake." Palak said with a blocked throat, "No, Papa. All my life I have been longing for your love. At least now give me the right to your loving caress. Don't deprive me of your company, and now don't deny me, Papa." It seemed, through the tears flowing from both of their eyes, the ice on the relationship was melting. Trivandji was feeling very small today and was thinking that in the affair of giving love and affection to the son, he ignored this daughter. Today the same son turned his back on him, and how much love and respect this despised daughter is giving so much love and respect. Trivandji kept on refusing, but Palak did not listen to him and took him from old his home to her in-laws' house. Palak's mother-in-law and her husband also did not object to this. Of late, Palak had finally got the love of her father, and Trivandji also understood that the relation of the heart is above everything else. And where there is love, the relationship automatically gets stronger. Friends, it is not necessary that only blood relations should take care and service. Sometimes some heart-related relationships go beyond blood relations. So friends, how did you like this story? Do tell me commenting. Thank you.